It is Saturday, November 6th in the NBA. My best bets are coming your way, including 3 player props and 2 spread picks. But what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. And before we hop into a recap of a 4-4 break-even day, I have to say, and yes, we are in a different setting than we normally are. That will be the case for the next 2 videos, so don't worry. But let's talk about it yesterday. You guys absolutely killed it. Now, I know the parlay giveaway did not go our way. Some of the legs did get close, but obviously the parlay did not cash. But you guys showed so much support, and I got to say thank you. We had over 618 likes, 820 comments on yesterday's video. It just goes to show you how strong the Calling Our Shot YouTube community is. We really appreciate you guys. You guys show so much love and support, even the people that aren't normally commenting on the video. So we appreciate it. So if you are new, consider clicking that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 13,000 subscribers now before we do another parlay giveaway. And keep liking and commenting on the video. Comment your best bet down below. I'm curious what you guys are playing today. But let's recap yesterday. And like I said, it was an alright day. I mean, we were 4-4. We missed half a unit. We had several plays go absolutely the opposite way of what probably should have happened. Now, our best bet, Eric Bledsoe, all reliable, under 10.5 points, cashes. Now, that man shot 13 times. Of course, he went 2 for 13. Not surprised. Miles Turner and RJ Barrett both cashed as well. And so did the Warriors, who absolutely beat up on the Pelicans. But annoying losses like the the Knicks and Bucks over. Yeah, the Bucks did not score for 5 straight minutes in the fourth quarter. It was agonizing to watch if you were watching it on ESPN. You were not alone as I was watching it as well. John Morant and the Grizzlies just get absolutely beaten up on. And the Nets, we had them covering the 10 points. Yeah, they gave away their 16-point lead in the fourth quarter. Almost lost outright. But like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to get back after it. Also, last note, check out Logan's best bets in college football. Put the link at the end of the video and in the description in the comment section. He would really appreciate it. So go check out his. But let's start with my best bet of the day, Dennis Schroeder. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I never know if it's Schroeder or Schroeder, but over 4.5 assists, minus 120 on FanDuel. Now, Dennis, he was memed all off season, and rightfully so, as he turned down some contracts, and now he signed with the Celtics, and he's quietly been decent so far this season, averaging 13.3 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, but the main reason, 6 assists per game. And I know this prop alone, it's minus 120, might become minus 140 on other books, but I think you should consider it maybe a parlay edition, but I really like it. Now, Dennis, he's played in 9 games so far this season, and he's cashed the over in 7 of them, cashed it in 6 of the past 7, and like I said, he's averaging 6 assists per game. All we need is 5, and he's averaging 11 assist opportunities per game as well. Now today, the Celtics will be without Jaylen Brown, who takes a lot of shots on the team, and that will increase. You'll see Dennis's usage rate increase pretty rapidly. And the last time Jaylen Brown only been out 1 game this season, Schroeder did cash this over. Now they're taking on a Mavericks team currently allowing a little over 8 assists per game to opposing point guards, right around the middle of the pack. So not necessarily a great matchup, not a bad matchup, but that's a little bit skewed because that takes into account a team like they played earlier this season, the Denver Nuggets, who don't really have a point guard. They still have Campazzo, but that's about it. They use Nikola Jokic. So, of course, they're not going to get a lot of assists against them at that position in that game. But you look at it, they've allowed 8 assists to Dejounte Murray. They allowed another 8 to him earlier. They allowed 9 to Lowry, 5 to Van Vliet, 14 to Trae Young. So they can give up some assists, and I think the Celtics team that runs a lot of their 2-ball, their 2 big men lineup, they could get some easy pick and roll baskets. Not sure if Kristaps Porzingis will be playing tonight. Don't think it matters. I'll take Dennis Schroeder over 4.5 assists. Now, moving on to 2 spread picks. We're taking the Bulls, -3 versus the Sixers. So a common theme this season has been hammering unders because unders are cashing at a crazy rate. So maybe consider that. Or you take teams that are playing back-to-back games. So these 2 teams played a couple of nights ago. The Sixers obviously had a game in between against the Pistons, but does that really count? I don't think so. But normally what you do is you take the one team that wins, you take the opposite team the next time. And that's what happened. Last game, the Sixers won by 5 points. It was a bad game for the Bulls, but now we're riding with the Bulls at home today. Now, I understand the Bulls, Nikola Vucevic, he did not play well last game, and really neither did Lonzo Ball, but I expect those guys to really get after it today. You got to think about it. They've been thinking about that loss for a couple days now, and maybe they'll come out playing fired up. Now, DeMar DeRozan been on an absolute scorcher, so if you want to consider taking his props again, go for it, but you look at the Sixers, they shot 12 for 28 from 3, 43%, and the Bulls shot just 6 for 21, only 29% from 3. Expect those numbers to more even out, especially as the Bulls are at home. The Bulls are currently 3-1 against the spread at home, and now the Sixers, they're quietly 3-1 against the spread on the road, which is much better than what they were last season, but I still don't trust them because the 3 teams they've covered against on the road here they are. You got the Pelicans, the Pistons, and the Thunder. All three of those teams not very good, so and don't have a great home field advantage or home court advantage. The only team they didn't cover was against the New York Knicks, who they lost by 13 points to. Now, last point of evidence, the Sixers are banged up. They're down Tobias Harris. Now Matisse Thybulle's out, arguably their best defender, who has a slim chance of stopping Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. They also are Danny Green and Furkan Korkmaz, both questionable, two of their better shooters on the outside. Really, it might just be Seth Curry firing up a bunch of shots and my boy Shake Milton. So I'm going to ride the guys of the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, playing much better this season than I think a lot of people might have expected. So I'm going to ride with them. All they have to do is cover the 3 points, and I'll take the home team in this one. And moving on to another spread, we're riding with another home team, the Suns. -4.5 versus the Hawks. Now, we meet again. This is the Road Hawks. This has been a narrative that we've been riding all season. We're going to continue to do it here. The Hawks currently 0-5 against the spread. I believe the only other team that has not covered against the spread is the Portland Trailblazers on the road, and they've just not played well. Their bench is just not looking all that too hot. Today they face a Suns team, which I have to admit, the Suns have not necessarily looked great. Do they have an NBA Finals runner-up hangover? Maybe so, but I think they are getting better, and I like them in this spot. When the Hawks have been struggling this season, it's been in the fourth quarter. They really, against the Jazz, they were up in that game. Really, they were tied the whole game, and then they just blew it in the fourth quarter. The offense just did not look good. They just didn't have enough playmakers out there. Now, fortunate for us, if we're betting the Suns, they got Chris Paul, one of the best floor generals in NBA history, and he's always been pretty good in the clutch, knocking down shots. Devin Booker, who we'll talk about in a little bit, also performs pretty well in the clutch. And really, it's just Trae Young trying his best out there. Now, Phoenix is just 2-3 against the spread at home this season, but they've covered 2 in a row. The Suns were 30-17 against the spread last season at home, the second best in the NBA. I like the Suns to roll in this one versus the Road Hawks. Now, the Hawks and the Suns played twice last year. Both teams won and covered in their respective home games, so I'll ride with the Suns in this one. Now let's pick 2 more player props before we get out of here. Joel Embiid, I'm taking this under 36.5 points plus rebounds. Now, I hate betting against Embiid, and if you don't have points plus rebounds, because I know a lot of you guys out there don't have it, probably just do points, but I think we have a little bit of an edge with the rebounds as well. Now, like I talked about earlier, Sixers are depleted. They really don't have a lot of guys out there, so they don't have a ton of options on offense, which you don't love, but I think that's why I like this under, because you'll see a team like the Bulls just really try to guard Embiid and make someone else beat them. That would not surprise me at all. Now, the Bulls, a good defensive team, and like I said, I just don't see them letting one guy beat them. Now, Embiid, for one, he's not been really aggressive all this season. He's not necessarily, that guy last season that was in the MVP running conversation. He was going off, throwing 35 points a night. The guy was insane. And 2, his rebounding is not that crazy. Now, when these two teams played earlier, just a couple days ago, he only had 18 points and 9 rebounds, so 27 points and rebounds. But here are his combined stats throughout the season. He had 28 versus the Pistons and 27, 24, 48, 20, 31, 27, 28. So really, he's only hit it over once. It was against the Pistons. He had 30 points and I believe 18 rebounds. So he had a field day against that team, but that's the Detroit Pistons. This is the Bulls team, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Like I said, he's only gone over once and really hasn't come close the rest of the time. The Bulls, middle of the pack defensively, necessarily against the center position, but I do think they got a good chance. Now, last note, no center. Yes, no center has gone over this line against the Chicago Bulls. That includes guys like Jonas Valanciunas having a great year, even Rudy Gobert, who had 19 rebounds alone, and even Al Horford, who has been quietly decent this season. In his last 6 matchups versus Nikola Vucevic, the Bulls starting center, he's not gone over this line once. So, could he be due a scoring outburst? Absolutely, but I'll take the under in this one. Now, moving on to another over-under for a player, we're taking Devin Booker over 24.5 points, -112 on FanDuel. Now, I know Booker has a love-hate relationship for a lot of people out there. Some people are like, heck no, I'm not betting on Devin Booker. And I understand that, but let me talk about it. After the season started, he started 3 straight games going under. But since then, he's gone over in 3 of 4. He's shooting it 18 to 25 times a night. And it finally looks like he's kind of getting a feel for what the refs are going to call and what they aren't going to call. Because in the beginning of the season, he wasn't getting any foul calls, not attempting any free throws. Since then, he's attempted 6 or more free throws in 3 of the past 4. And Chris Paul, he really hasn't been that aggressive on offense. You're seeing Devin Booker, like I said, shoot 18 to 20, 25 times a night. Now, you look at the Hawks, they've allowed top scorers to hit this over pretty consistently, like Tobias Harris will get up to 22 points. You see Bradley Beal will hit this over like 27, 28 points. Now, the Hawks as alone, they're allowing the 3rd most points per game to opposing shooting guards at over 26 per game, and Booker has gone over in 5 of his last 6 matchups versus the Atlanta Hawks alone. His one miss, he only shot 8 for 19 and only shot 3 free throws, finished him with 21 points. I know we'll see a healthy dosage of minutes, and if we can get a Suns pretty good decisive victory. Maybe they pull away in the fourth quarter thanks to Devin Booker run. We'll cash 2-1, so I'll take that. Now, calling my shot time. Let's do this. We're taking Jayshawn Tate under 0.5 threes, plus 185 at Caesars, probably plus 180 on a lot of other books. Now, Tate has helped us cash an under, and I understand this is 0.5 threes. That's basically a yes or no. But like I said, Tate has cashed us an under before, and we're going to go back to the well. Now, Tate, not known for being a great shooter. That's not necessarily, if you look up Jayshawn Tate, you won't see, oh, he's a Reggie Miller lookalike, or Steph Curry. These are his comparisons. No, he doesn't shoot that well from three. He's like a 30% three-point shooter, and he's gone under this long. Now, if you talk about all the season, besides his one game on his birthday when he attempted 8 three-pointers, only made one of them, he has attempted 2 or less in 6 of the other 7 games. So you're asking if we can survive 2 shots? Absolutely. He's not hit a 3 in 4 of 8 games this season. Now, he has hit a 3 in 3 straight games versus the Nuggets, but the Nuggets currently allowing the 5th fewest three-pointers to opposing teams, and I expect them to be able. Now, the only thing that could really screw us here is if Michael Porter Jr. is guarding him, because he leaves everyone wide open. But either way, sharper books have this at plus 139. I think we're getting great value at plus 185, so I'll take it. Those are my bets of the day. Let me know your best bets down below. Click that like and subscribe button. Check out Logan's Best Bets video for college football. It's going to be a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.